What's going on, guys? Patch here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin's recent breakout above this support and if we're going to go up, test this and break above, or are we going to come back down? So make sure you guys stay all the way till the end of the video because we have a ton of stuff to cover. But as always, I want to start off by explaining to you guys and sharing a few of the trades that I was recently in hopes that this can help you guys out in your future trades as well in order to know what I'm looking at so you can apply it to your own technical analysis. Starting off with a long for Bitcoin. Now this is the last target. We've hit 3 out of 4 targets on this trade, and the reason we entered this, even though it looked like we were breaking below the EMA ribbon here, the reason we entered this trade is because if you look at the 4-hour chart, we actually have what looked like a fake to the downside of the 4-hour chart, but we had broken above it here. We had the flip come in here. So we expected this move to act as sort of a bounce and head our way on further up. So that's why it's important to look at multiple time frames, but that's the reason why, even though the 1 hour looked like it could be breaking to the downside, how we expected that to not be the case, reverse back up and continue to hit multiple targets. So that was Bitcoin. We also had a long for Ethereum up, and the Ethereum long very straightforward as well, coming in, entering at this position. Now Ethereum, we expect it to continue to go up long term, even if it had a retest of the support down here. The buy range was obviously a little bit lower, so it allowed us to dollar cost average, but we saw the flip come in the EMA ribbon. We had our stop loss set at $336, so obviously set for an exact reason. Even though it came back down, we knew that we only wanted to trigger the stop loss if we actually saw a confirmed break below the EMA ribbon, which was not the case. We bounced off it once, hit some targets, bounced off it twice, we hit more targets. Then on the third time, we hit every single one of our targets. A completely done trade, extremely profitable. So I hope this TA, you guys can use that and implement it for your own trades as well, so you can see profits in those trades. But if you guys feel like you're missing out and you want to take advantage of all the opportunities that this market has to offer, then check out the first link down below in the description for the cryptocurrency trade alert group. I post every single one of the trades that myself and my expert team are entering in real time in this group, so that if you're a complete beginner, if you don't know how to do technical analysis, or if you don't have time to do technical analysis, you can copy our exact trades. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, but you'll get access to every single one of our altcoin trades, every single one of our leverage trades. You'll get access to the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space, but most importantly, for 14 days after you sign up, so for 2 weeks after you sign up, you can test it all out completely for free. It's a free trial. Well, 14 days after you sign up, we're not going to hide anything from you. There's no catch. We will pull back the curtain. You'll see every single one of the trades that we have to offer. And if it doesn't work for you, you don't like it, whatever reason, no questions asked, you can simply cancel and you will avoid getting charged. So a ton of you guys were in those recent trades that I just showed you with us and were able to profit with us. And if you weren't in those trades, then I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But let's go into Bitcoin analysis and what exactly we have to cover, because there is so much information to talk about, and my chart looks a little bit more busy than it usually does. You guys know I like to keep it extremely simple, but there's a few things I want to highlight and a few sort of levels that I wanted to share with you guys, starting with this resistance that we had to the downside over here. I was watching this one. I haven't talked about it much, but I was watching it, just an indicator in case Bitcoin was going to break above or not. You saw they actually did have that breakout come in over here, which was a very bullish sign. Then even potentially had this retest of that support as well. Both support now both the support and resistances at this level, because it also broke above the resistance horizontally that I have drawn for you guys. So let's just remove that so we can look at the chart a little more clearly. 2 breakouts that came in over a very strong resistance is a very bullish sign for Bitcoin. And even with the 1 hour, like I told you, bouncing off the EMA ribbon multiple times, still indicating a very bullish trend for Bitcoin in the short term. Now watch out, as you guys, if you guys watched a few videos before, we talked about the RSI trend lines as well, both to the downside but also to the upside. And this is one that's forming right here with this support that bounced multiple times. This first one was actually a divergence, which was one of the reasons we expected Bitcoin to go bullish. We had this divergence here where we made a lower low here, but the RSI made a higher high. Very important to know your divergences, because they also are a very clear tell, not 100% of the time, but a very clear, and more often than not, they do play out the way that they should. Bullish or bearish divergences, always something to look at. But then we had another retest over here of the RSI, so we can expect Bitcoin at some point to potentially have another bounce off that, or it can break below, depending on if it's going to be bullish or if it's going to be bearish. So keep an eye out on this RSI is also extremely important. But the 2 key levels right now are this support that we have drawn here And also this resistance currently set, for me, it's set at 11,100. I know some people have it up here at around 11,200. Either way, I'm putting mine down to be a little bit more conservative, but you'll notice that previously this acted as support multiple times, and there's a lot of price action, even resistance and support multiple times. There's a lot of price action and a lot of volume in this area. So it is a very strong resistance at the moment that we do have to keep an eye out on. However, Bitcoin remaining in this pattern would be extremely bullish. That's a very good sign for Bitcoin. And if it continues to play out this pattern, we can expect a breakout here. And if that breakout does come, then we're eyeing that $12,000 level as the next big resistance, as usually, like we saw before, we were in this pocket. This is the level that Bitcoin will bounce in between. So breaking above this resistance, we can expect to enter sort of a range that we saw at this level as well, where obviously there will be smaller supports and resistances throughout. But the most important one, the big one, next is going to be that $12,100 mark. However, obviously, we have to look at both sides. If Bitcoin does come down and it does break below this resistance, this support here, then that would obviously be the bullish signal for Bitcoin. That could take Bitcoin down to around $9,000 first. Obviously, we're at $10,900 now, but $10,000 first, coming back down to retest here, then potentially even $9,000, $8,500. Those are the levels down if we do see those, but I would say less likely that we go down to those low levels. The most we can do if we break below first, we have to eye that $10,000 mark, which is obviously support from back here. So very important information, very important levels we have to keep an eye out on for Bitcoin. A lot going on right now, a lot of important levels that we saw break over here, and then also levels now that we want to see Bitcoin continue to. With the 1 hour right now, we have that recent bounce above the EMA ribbon. So let's see if we can maintain above the EMA ribbon and continue to have these bounces up, which would take us into that resistance that we already want to touch. However, zooming out, 4 hour time frame, a little bit of a bigger time frame here. We just recently had that flip, which is a very good sign for Bitcoin as well. Not often do we see something like this where we have flips back to back. Not often do we see something, or at least such a short period of time. Usually we see these things last for at least quite a few candles, like we can see here, and even previously. Here a little bit longer than what we saw over here. So if that does play out, then we can expect the 4 hour to potentially have a bounce off of this again when the EMA ribbon comes up, and that would help us as well go up and test that $11,100 mark. So again, 4 hour, if this flip holds, we want to see that confirmation first by having that bounce off. We didn't see that confirmation come in here. We saw the flip come in. We had this move. It didn't really come back down to bounce. It came straight down from a few big candles on the 1 hour time frame. So we want to watch out for that as well. Keep an eye out on that if you are looking to do any form of trade in the short term. But the daily time frame looking hopefully, now we can't say it yet because we had this happen previously as well, where this resistance played key in rejecting us back down when we look like we wanted to flip above the EMA ribbon. The daily time frame still holding very close together at these levels, not a spread out EMA ribbon like we usually like to see, and what usually indicates to us that the trend is more guaranteed. When it's tight like this, the trend is a little less guaranteed. So 1 hour, 4 hour looking more bullish. Daily time frame, it wants to look bullish right now with this recent candle coming in. If it can, again, take us up to this level, maintain above the EMA ribbon, and then use the EMA ribbon as support to break this level, that would be the most bullish scenario, especially for the long term, because then we will have the EMA ribbon open up, acting as support, helping us up potentially all the way up to that $12,100 mark. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of the Bitcoin price. We talked about the weekly time frame in previous videos, so if you guys want to see that, check out the last video. I think it was, we talked about a major pattern that no one had been talking about, and I see a few people catching on now, but nobody had been talking about at the time, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So check out the last video if you have not done so already. But a quick roundup on the altcoins and how everything is doing. Bitcoin up 2.5% on the day. We saw that daily candle obviously being a relatively big green candle, 2.5% move. Hey, if you are in Bybit and you use 10x leverage and you caught this, that's a 25% trade. Super straightforward, super easy. So if you guys just saw the breakout, were able to enter there, you could have made some solid gains. Like I showed you guys we did in the group, could have made some solid gains. So again, there's gonna be a link to Bybit down below if you guys wanna check that out, where it's the exchange that I use to do my trades, especially because you could obviously add a 5x, a 10x leverage to it, which is very beneficial and does allow you to make more money if you know what you're doing. They're also offering $90 for free if you deposit 0.2 Bitcoin, which means if you take that $90 they give you, and you put a 10x leverage on it, that is a $900 trade that you are trading with completely for free. It's all not your money, right? You're taking all the $90 that they gave you, and then any profit that you make, say it, you catch a decent move for Bitcoin and you make $100, you can actually withdraw that $100. So no risk there for anybody signing up. Obviously, make sure you guys be careful, make sure you know what you're doing. Those exchanges can be risky, but if you know what you're doing, it's gonna be the second link down below in the description. A very good opportunity. But with Bitcoin going up, obviously the last week, it has been overall in a green trajectory. You can see very similar with a majority of altcoins also having that recent jump up over the last few days, over the weekend. Previously when we saw this, we saw some more red than we are seeing right now. Overall, I like what CoinMarketCap did with the green and the red. It just makes it really clear scrolling through. Overall, a majority of altcoins are in the green, and especially out of the big players, obviously the small ones, small volume, small market cap, a lot more can happen, a lot more moves can happen. But when you look at the top 10 and you see a top 12, you see all of them green, you can imagine that it's been overall a pretty decent week for Bitcoin as well as for altcoins. So that's going to be the wrap of the video right now. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and most importantly, make sure you're subscribed with that notification bell turned on so you can stay updated with everything to do with the Bitcoin price, so you can prepare yourself and put yourself in the best position to succeed with your portfolio, with your trades, and everything that comes with that. That's the goal for me in this channel, is to help you guys out, to be able to build portfolio, to have more profitable trades and everything for yourselves like I was able to do for myself. So if you guys want that, if you guys enjoyed that, like I said before, leave a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and hit that bell. But I'll see you guys on Wednesday for another video.